What is up, guys? Me, Madeline here. Welcome back on the video again. Today, I'm gonna tell you how do I adapt to any environment I live in. So, one thing I've been very good at is I've been very good at always adapting to the environment I've been living, and I never had a problem with I've never been poor. I think poor is a state of mind personally, so I gotta make a video about that. But yeah, poor is a state of mind. Um, mindset's real. So, how do you stay decent? How do you still upload YouTube videos despite not having a laptop, despite everything breaking down, despite people storing your stuff? How do you do it, man? And I'm saying I always adapt to the change. Now, obviously, I used to be poised. I'm staying poised. There's some stuff I went through personally in my life, which is ridiculous. And I went through a lot personally. I'm gonna make a video about the chase situation eventually, um, like how I got scammed basically. I didn't realize, and that led me to a downward spiral. Both all I usually that to many environments, but I'm used to collaborate. But otherwise, though, one thing I always do, always to be, I always try to be. I'm trying to be always independent. Even what software I use, I try to be independent with the software. If I depend on the system, it's gonna be a problem. So I've been trying to be not dependent on the system basically over time, and I've been using a lot of free software, which has been phenomenal. Free software has been saving me a lot of the headache of like organization technology, small scale technology, pretty cool. I've been using a lot of small scale technology, pretty cool. I was able to adapt to the software and able to make content pretty cool. So it's been phenomenal. But otherwise, though, it's like I've been always adapted to the environment. Making videos still pretty cool, which I love. I know people like, how do you survive a bad economy? Something like that. How do you do it? How do you survive the worst economy when you got scammed and stuff like that? When you're supposed homeless and or not really not homeless, but you whatever. How do you do it, Matthew? And one thing I should, I'm smart with it, but most importantly too, I was like, I always adapt. I always adapt to the environment. I always adapt to the change in times environment. I always adapt to it. I never gave up on my dream. I just I just always adapt. I could adapt to anything, but what we don't tell you is like you gotta stay in a high vibration state, a very high vibration state. So that's one way with the matrix. You gotta stay in a high vibration state. Always think, not being like, not be a, like a, don't be like a positive, but be like a monk. Also like make money work for you basically. Where like you're not dependent on the system. You don't have to buy everything with your money. You basically think for free. But I don't know. I'm still working on skipping the matrix personally. Trying to keep myself as a high vibration state, being happy vibration state, now a negative vibration state. Trying to always adapt to changing times because right now people's like, oh man, they got college and it's hard to get a job right now in the economy. So there's that too, and I know AI trying to take over jobs and like that, which has been an issue and that too. So I'm still making YouTube videos on YouTube, which has been fun. I mean, I thank you for liking the music I created, Sexy Vega, Mac Vega song. I don't know whatever that song is called. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for liking the music. I know I made recently new music and nobody liked this. I started to delete the videos to do quality control. I deleted the other video because the music was terrible. So I didn't want to release it because it was terrible. The audio was terrible. So I released the old videos because terrible. It was awful. So I went with this video instead. But I'm assuming make more music eventually too, better music, something like that. So I'm gonna release it on you use Spotify, usuals. But it's been phenomenal. But I always adapt to my environment. I never had issue. I'm make once I get my own new computer, I'm gonna make more. I'm going to do more live streams eventually over time. It'd be cool. Overall, like I'm just very smart with this, so I'm gonna do a YouTube video. I'm gonna posting on YouTube. Now about to move to Japan. No, I'm about to cancel that right now. I'm about to stay a little bit, but I'm still eventually gonna move to a different country, maybe Saudi Arabia or maybe no, maybe Dubai. I don't know, something in the future, but I could be wrong. But back to what I was saying though, I was always adapt to the environment. I never give up. I just do it for funsies. Personally, I like being me. You know what I'm saying? If you hate it, if you don't like it, go yourself. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I try to have a good time, have a great time, and never give up. But I'm smart with that. I'm very tough love, you know what I'm saying? But overall, like I just always adapt to change times, and I never really needed a job to do. I always been full entrepreneur. I went entrepreneur. It probably was the best decision to go independent. Go into and even when I talk to a friend, I'd rather have a friend who be independent, more independent than dependent on the system. So I always try to be independent from the system, not be dependent on the system. So if society collapses right now, if society collapses, then I just skip the matrix and not depend on the system. But I always try to be not dependent on the system, and learn to be more independent. I learned about independence really early on in life. Back then, I used to be very dependent on people. Now I try to be more independent. I'm not saying don't get asked for help and like that, but also ask for help. But I learned to be more independent from the system. I'll seek for independence to not to be dependent. So I've been investing a lot in small scale technology, something like that. Invest in small scale technology, pretty useful, stuff like that. So I always adapt to the environment. So I never been that dumb to with that. But otherwise, I was smart with it. I was investing in real estate, something like that. I have Minecraft server, a million real estate games. I got some art. I invest in art, something like that. I invest in some real estate, something like that. Art too. That's how I did around a job basically when I was poor, and then I would like go to like I would go to a place where they do my laundry for free. Basically, you could do my laundry for free somewhere like I don't know like a place where they could do it at my friend's house. Thanks shout out to my friend help me with that. Also with when I started to my roommate, he gave me food for he. I would go to for instance I don't know when I was poor when I was very poor I used to go to pantry. Now I go to I go to I buy my own food basically for that for the money I have for my real estate investment. Pretty cool. But that's how I survived the body count. There's a lot of things I didn't mention. Lots of from because I'm not talking about because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm very terrible for that. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not recommended for me. But I always adapt to the environment and always been smart. I'm just been smart with it. Overall, up there on YouTube, I made a new game currently. I made a new game on my website. If you want to check my game out, I made two new games. I made Monopoly one game. Another game was I think it was New York, Manhattan Autobahn. I believe that's the other game, New York, Manhattan, Matthew, or some of the New York, Manhattan Autobahn. It's about the new game, the Autobahn game made from Construct 2. So, but like, it's on my website. Check the website below. I'm also make more videos on my website eventually over time. Exclusive videos on my website. It's pretty cool. And I hope you like this content. So I think it's good this video. I know the job economy is right now is terrible for you guys. So how do you do it, Matt? How do you do that? How do you survive? Well, I use a lot of small scale technology too, and most morning I always adapt to many things. And I always been collaborating with people. I always talk to people, collaborate, and I always been independent. I always get poised. So shout out to Mr. Jackson, taking involved making independence. But overall, I always adapt to the environment. I can adapt to anything. I skip the major. I have my own generator power, my own source generation to power my websites. So I have a little backup generator to power my website. Pretty cool. So I'm just being smart. So I didn't include this for the video. I gotta get my passport eventually in America because America's slowly become a police state. But I love you guys. Love you guys. Stay safe. And I'm so rich. Bye.